Hey YouTube, Commodore 64 project, still undergoing. Right, so the last video I said I was going to recap the actual Commodore 64. My soldering iron is just not up to doing it, and it will need a desoldering gun or something like that. So I'm going to delay that for a while. But what I am going to do is I was playing around with this game here, which is Renegade 3, and it sort of loads and then it sort of stops loading, and I was wondering, what's causing it. So I'm going to try a replacement PLA. Here's one that I have got, and it's the Plankton module, so PLA NKTON module, and it should be able to work with this particular model, and I will just remove it. But in the meantime, I'm also going to add in some heat sinks. So I bought these ones off eBay. They're maybe a little bit tall. They're about a centimeter in height, so they may be a little bit tall. I'm hoping they're okay. And then I got these from the same guy that I got the PLA from, and they're a lot shorter, so about half the height. So these I'm going to use on the larger chips, and then I'm just going to use one or two on these on some of the other ones, like the ones that drive the keyboard and the ROM and that kind of stuff. So what I won't do is I won't put it on the PLA. So I'll open this up and we'll have a look at what's going on inside the Commodore 64. So if we look inside the Commodore 64, that's the PLA, that's the processor, that's going to be my SID chip. These are our two controllers for the keyboard, and then you've got the various ROMs, etc. So I'm going to lift the PLA out with my tool that I removed the SID chip with, so it should be pretty well much the same, and put it to one side, and then replace it with this this PLA here, and we'll see how that works, as well as putting some of these in here. So what I'm going to just do is just going to pop that there, and I think because that is below the height of the actual keyboard mount, I think that should probably be okay. So I should be able to put one on there, one on there, one on here, one on here, one on here, and then with these longer ones, I'm going to essentially put it on top of this one, and oh, that may be too big. Maybe I can only just put it on top of that one. So with the SID, I may just put two of these on the SID instead. So not that they were expensive, but those longer ones, obviously, for the longer chips. So probably not the best way of doing it. So I've got a few more of these left over, so I can easily put a couple on the SID like that. I may even just overhang it a little bit. That will work if I put those three on like that, just to give it a little bit more. Might be a little bit of an overkill, but anyway, I will definitely put two on there, and I think two will certainly help it enormously to dissipate some of the heat off it. So just removing off the PLA at the moment. I've started the process of releasing it off. I've got my hand in the way now. We're almost out, and then we're out. So there you go. There's the old PLA. So it's the 82S100N by looks of things. So I'll just put that to one side. It's U17. Don't want to touch it, but I don't know where. One would assume that pin 1 is going to be at the top there, because that's the way all the other ROMs have gone in, and the other chips are that way round orientated. So one would kind of hope that it looks like that. So the PLA is out. It's off to one side. I haven't put the little sort of heat dissipators on it yet, but I'm going to obviously put the PLA on there and make sure it's the right way round. Indentation at the top tends to indicate that that's the 0 position, so that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so if you look at the PLA, you'll notice that the top left-hand pin is not actually in the socket. So if you were trying to do it like that, you'd misalign it, you would overshoot. So you've got to go down one below it. So to push this in now, and it's tough, resisting it a little bit. So maybe if I push it down together, there we go, we're in. So we're missing the first pin down in here, so we're missing that first slot, but all the others should be plugged in correctly into the socket. So what I'll do now is I'll just do the heat sinks. So I've got some alcoholic wipe, which I'll just pop open and clean down various elements of the chips. Let's clean that one down. Pull these out of the way. So those are the chips cleaned. So I can put, wow, and you can even see the little bit of dirt that's on them. So let's quickly do that again. Sorry about the light. So I'm going to go with the larger chip. So thermally conductive tape, yeah. Go over the top of it. The cap out of the way a little bit. Heatsink in place. Okay, with the others, similar type of thing. That one. Middle of this one. Roughly. No idea if these actually do anything, but kind of feel that they might help a little bit to take away some of the heat. Very straight. Oh well. I think I might put 2 on this one as I've got them. Again, don't ask me why, it's just a feeling I have. So for the SID, I think again I'm just going to go for something like that. That's my kind of thinking at the moment. So the PLA is in. The main processor has a heatsink on it, which is a full-size one, and also the SID has got 2 heatsinks on top of it, and the various other chips have as well. So we shall see if that helps the C64. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this thing fires up.